All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Championship Weekend here in Biddy Brackets. I have Cal State Fullerton's hat on for the F for the finals. Uh, the Titans, number 12, Goodwill. And of course, I have my Kansas beat 'em. You guys see this? Not beat 'em, but beat 'em Hawks. So that's who I had to win. That's who I had playing this weekend. They're not in it, so what can you do, right? But we do have some exciting action here with the men's teams. Gonzaga went ahead and took care of business. They won their game yesterday. North Carolina beat Oregon. They advanced. So unfortunately for South Carolina and Oregon, their season is done. However, the Lady Gamecocks are still in it. They won their game against Stanford, and then Mississippi State surprisingly knocked off UConn, which was an incredible game. I posted some footage already in this playlist. So what a wild start, what a wild Final Four it was. But right now we're kicking off the championship games, and right now I can hear the national anthem going for the women's game. So I'm going to try to get through this as fast as possible and return to my couch. So basically, how this worked initially, it was all about which bracket was gonna. It still is. You have your bear bracket, your bird bracket, your dog bracket, and your cat bracket. Cat bracket is no longer. No teams advanced to the championship games. Gosh, I don't think. Well, let's see. Did anybody advance to? Oh, I think Stanford was the last cat. Let me just check this real quick. How did I already say that they were out? Oh, they had already played when I did my last video. So yeah, they were out. The cats were done. So basically, you still have one bear. So on this side of the aisle, you had the bear cats, the bears and cat bracket. This side of the aisle, you had the birds and the dogs. The birds have one representative left. The dogs have two. And then over here, the bears have one. So basically, as I'm looking at this, on the left side of the aisle, you have Gonzaga and Mississippi State still representing the dogs. And then you have South Carolina on the women's side representing the birds, which the bird bracket was the bracket I chose to win the whole thing. So technically, I'm still in it. But actually, I'm rooting for the Mississippi State to win because of how they handled UConn. I think it would be just such a waste if they had that amazing victory and they couldn't actually win the big thing. So I'm rooting for the dogs, even though I picked the birds. So go figure. This is wild and crazy, right? Because I was hoping that a bird on the men's teams won, the Kansas or South Carolina. So that's what I was hoping for. But if South Carolina women win, I'll take that victory. But it'll be a damn shame. I really hope Morgan Williams wins her game right now with the Mississippi State Bulldogs. That was such a great shot. Over on the men's side of things, those games take place tomorrow. You have Gonzaga and North Carolina. Both of them are number one seeds. The women, the South Carolina's number one, Mississippi State's number two seed. So you have two great matchups. So basically, it's all going to come down to who's big bird, who's bad bear, or who's top dog. And right now, you still have two dogs in the race. Not only was it just about which animal bracket was going to advance and then win eventually, but I went ahead and introduced points into the scenario. So this is what it looks like right now. You have in the Biddy bracket here, you have Gonzaga. Each team that won in the what was it? The Elite Eight got 2 points, and then if the teams in your bracket, if you had the highest margin of victory, you ended up with an and 1 point. So as you can see, Gonzaga just got 2 points. The dog bracket that got the and 1 point the first time around in the Elite Eight was UConn. They outscored all the rest of their team, all the rest of the teams that were in the dog bracket. Then you have North Carolina. They only got 2 points. They were the only Bears team to advance to the Elite Eight, so they didn't have any chance to get an and 1 point. You have Mississippi State. They only got 2 points the first time around, by virtue of UConn getting that and 1 point for winning with the highest margin of victory. And then you had South Carolina. Now South Carolina and in their bracket, they had both South Carolina teams for the Elite Eight. You had the men's and the women's. Initially, in the last video, I said that the men's team scored more points, but when I looked that up, I was wrong. They each scored 7 points to win, 7 points more than their opponent to win their game. So since they tied, I gave them both an and 1 point. However, South Carolina men's team lost the other day, so South Carolina women advanced, but they picked up that extra point. Then when you got into the Final Four matchup, Gonzaga, of the two, Mississippi State, 2 dog brackets, Mississippi State scored 2 more points than their opponent. UConn, Gonzaga scored 4 more points. So Gonzaga gets the and 1. North Carolina gets a standard 4 points for winning. Mississippi State gets a standard 4 points for winning, and so does South Carolina. So as you can see, the breakdown is Gonzaga 7 points, North Carolina 6, Mississippi State 6, and South Carolina 7. So as it goes today in the championship game, the winner gets 8 points, and then the team that wins by the most amount of points among the 2 winners gets an additional 2 points. So that's going to make the winner get to 16 points. So among the 2 winners of the championship games, whoever scores the most points is going to be declared the Biddy Brackets champion. Since you can't have the men and the women actually playing each other, it's just going to go off the points. So Gonzaga and South Carolina right now have an extra point over North Carolina and Mississippi State, but it doesn't help having an extra point if you actually lose your game. So the winners of these next two games, it's going to be exciting to see who comes out on top. The ladies' game is going on right now, and the men's will be going on tomorrow at 6:30. So tomorrow night, I'm going to jump back on here and let you guys know who the champion of the Biddy Bracket was. It men or women? So ladies, represent. Men, get up. Let's do this. Let's see which of these champions that win today can score more points in their victory. And that's basically how it works. I'm going to go enjoy a Red Bull, keep myself up, because not only do we have the ladies' game today, it's opening day for baseball, and more importantly, tonight is the Academy of Country Music Awards in Vegas at 8 p.m. CBS. Check it out.